Hi again. Welcome back to week 6 of your evidence-based practice course. We are coming down the home stretch. I hope you all had a very nice Thanksgiving. All right, let's start. So this week, our first discussion question is a little interesting. Gaps in the literature, help or hindrance when wanting to make a change? You could defend either point of view. So I'll be looking to see what you have to say about that. Then DQ2, the difference between statistically significant and clinically significant. Remember when we talked about p-values and type 1 and type 2 errors and that side of thing? That's on our statistically significant side. But what is clinically significant and how does that differ? And you'll be finding a lot of that information in your book, in your text. But feel free to use any other sources because there's definitely a difference there can be a difference between those two. All right, so I look for some good discussion on that this week. You have now turned in your change model paper and the implementation plan. So I'll be looking at those. I have a week to do those. My other course also has some things due, so I'm going to try to get all of them done. And, I will get all of them done within a week, but I'll try to get it back to you before then. Because week 7 is where you pull it all together, the big one. Okay. And so now this week, you'll be submitting evaluation of the process paper. And that really digs into the nitty-gritty details of evaluating the outcomes of the practice that you've implemented. And so you're going to be getting very specific about how you're evaluating your outcomes. You're going to clearly define, the exact outcomes that you're going to be measuring. Really, just like always, go down that list and follow those directions. There is that one part that talks about validity, reliability, and applicability. And so you're really going to have to look at either the tool that you're using, the internal data that's going to be pulled, or whatever it is that you're measuring. If it is data that's internal to your organization, it is acceptable to interview like the department head or whoever is in charge of collecting and reporting on that data. If you need more information on exactly how that is pulled, who actually does the measurement, that sort of thing. So, and look in your APA manual to how to cite a personal interview. So that's how that would be. Again, just the nitty-gritty, 500 to 750 words. Hopefully this one will be a little bit better, where you don't feel like you're always having to cut out tons of stuff. This one's a little bit more concise, unless you have a ton of outcomes that you are measuring. Most of you have been able to narrow it down, so I think we'll be okay that way. I did have a question about Turnitin. Each of these components we've been submitting to Turnitin, and then what you've submitted, basically you're just going to be fine-tuning a lot of it for your final paper. And the final paper does say to use Turnitin, but the more I've been thinking about it, the more I think that you're going to get an incredibly high SI number for Turnitin because you've already turned in a lot of the components where the wording will be the same in your final paper. So I am going to get rid of that requirement for Turnitin for the week 7 where you pull it all together, okay? Remember, in week 7, you are doing both a paper and a PowerPoint presentation. Yeah, PowerPoint presentation. And so, gosh, it's a whole bunch. So hopefully you've been kind of incorporating my feedback all along as you've been turning in things. If you haven't, you definitely need to get moving on that piece to combine everything. In week 7, there are some very specific formats. There's even an example of a completed project. So I think you'll have enough information with all the week 7 attachments to do a really nice job. if you're incorporating all the feedback that I've been giving to you each week, which I have faith. I know you will. All right, so I think that's about it. And as usual, let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you in the main forum. Bye-bye.